Aloha in like Flynn's family. It is.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on? I got PJ with me in the house today. This is awesome. PJ usually doesn't jump on with me
Yep.
that often, but this is a special day. This is the
NFC
kickoff.
playoffs.
The NFL playoffs.
NFL.
The NFC and the
AFC.
AFC. That's right. That's right.
Starting off with the AFC.
Yeah, that kicks off almost in about 15 minutes. We had to get on here live and do our picks so people know our picks are legit. And then I got to get ready to head down because you can see I'm kind of decked out here. I am heading down. There we go. To M&T Bank Stadium to watch the Ravens take on the Steelers. I'll be leaving in about a little over an hour, I guess, to go down there. But yeah, we got to get our picks in, and I'm excited, man. You know what? I am excited and scared for the Steelers game because the Ravens are a heavy favorite, and that's typically when they choke. And it's got cold weather, no Zay Flowers. Lamar, I don't know. He doesn't have the best playoff record, so I'm a little scared. Well, you know what? We're getting ahead of ourselves. We're getting ahead of ourselves. What the first game that we got coming up in about 15 minutes?
It's actually like 4:30, but whatever.
Yeah.
So it's Texans versus Chargers. The 4th seed is the Texans, and the 5th seed is the Chargers.
Yep. All right.
I don't think
Texans
that really
versus
matters
Chargers.
because
Yeah. It's funny because the Texans, I feel like with the way Baltimore rolled the Texans,
they've only won against one playoff team.
Yeah, that's why they're the higher seed because they won their division. But I think the Chargers are the better team. I think Justin Herbert, I think he's ready to roll. I think we're going to see a little
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah. I think so. I'm thinking for this first game, Texans Chargers, I think I'm going Chargers, man. I think both Harbaugh brothers stay alive.
Me too. I think it's going to be 19-16 Chargers.
Oh, you think low scoring, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't thinking about giving a score before we went on live, but if I have to give a score, I'm more thinking like 27-23, something like that. Chargers, I think they put up a little bit of a decent score. I mean, they're going to be playing in good weather. So, yeah, you got to take that into consideration. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's going to be a good game, but I think the Chargers come out on top. So that would leave the number 5 seed still alive. And then we have the Steelers and Ravens game coming up here at 8 o'clock at M&T Bank Stadium. So that is our game number 2 of the weekend. I'm going to be heading down there. It is going to be cold. When I say cold, I mean single digits cold. I am not looking forward to it. I'm going to be totally bundled up tonight. PJ, are you relieved? You went to the last Ravens Steelers game in December.
Cold.
That was cold. Tonight's even supposed to be colder. So I'm a little nervous. Cold weather games, the Ravens don't do great. Lamar doesn't love cold weather.
Nope.
Yeah. His numbers are typically a little bit lower. I think the key to victory today with no Zay Flowers,
Derrick Henry, I would say.
Derrick Henry, he's got to get rolling. We got to manage Watt.
I think we won basically every single game if we got Derrick Henry over like 100 yards or something like that.
Yeah. And we got to get him rolling. But in terms of Lamar, we are going to need run-happy Lamar today. I think for the Ravens to pull off a victory with no Zay Flowers, we need the Lamar Jackson who's not trying to be Tom Brady. We need the Lamar Jackson who is not afraid to be a dual-threat quarterback tonight, where he's going to probably put up at least, I think Lamar, for us to win tonight, he's going to have to put up at least 80 yards on the ground for us to get the win. Plus, like you said, Derrick Henry over 100 yards.
And no stupid flags.
Yeah, we got to be disciplined tonight. Like, no dumb flags. That is crucial because the Ravens, we make stupid decisions. But you know what? They got Pickens playing today. Last time the Ravens played, they did not have Pickens. And the Ravens defense, I mean, it's come along. We're the number 1 in the NFL over the last 4 weeks of the season, the number 1 defense over the last 4 weeks of the season. But our secondary is still questionable. And I am afraid of what they could do to us. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. How much do you think Fields gets in today? Do you think they're scheming to get Fields in?
Probably.
I
would say at least 10 to 15 plays.
I like what you're thinking. I really do. Like usually, like then the time we lost to him, we saw him about twice. I'm not sure we saw him all at all in the last game against the
Because
Ravens.
he was injured.
That's true. Yeah, he was injured. Tonight, I think Pittsburgh is going to try every trick in the book to beat the Ravens, and that scares me. I think they're going to be pushing it on fourth down. I think they're going to be running Fields out there, especially. I wouldn't put it past them if Russell starts having a bad game that they just pull him and put Fields in there because they got nothing to lose. I mean, it's do or die time. So this is the tough one for me. I mean, the Ravens are the number 3 seed. Everyone is so confident that we're just going to roll the Steelers. I'm not as confident. What are you thinking for this game?
For the score or like who's gonna win? I think the Ravens are gonna barely win. I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel it's gonna be 21. I don't know, 21-20.
Ooh, man, 21-20. I'll be having a heart attack out there at the bank tonight. As scared as I am of this game, and I'm telling you, I'm scared. I do have confidence. I think the Ravens, 9 times out of 10, should beat the Steelers. On paper, I think we're the better team. I do think we win tonight. I do think it's going to be close because of stupid mistakes. I would absolutely love to be wrong, and we just blow them out. Worst case for me, say the Ravens get the ball on their first drive and they go down. We get stopped at, say, the 15-yard line. Justin Tucker lines up, shanks a field goal. I think everyone in town would be like, oh my gosh, we're done. I mean, the whole idea that we won't have confidence in our kicker going into the playoffs. Oh my gosh. We're thinking positive, though. Tucker's back. Let's go, baby. All right, I'm going to go Ravens. I think the Ravens, if we play decent tonight, I'm going to say the Ravens put up 27. 27-24 Ravens. I think it's going to be a field goal that wins this thing. I could easily see it being tied 24-24, and we have the ball last, and we go down and score a field goal to win. Hope I'm wrong. I hope we blow them out of the water.
It was funny. Every time we were at the Ravens game and Justin Tucker kicked the field goal, I'm like, Justin Tucker, don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Yeah. No. It just is what it is. I mean, he's having a bad game. All right. Let's move on to the next one. So those were the 2 games tonight. Now we're going to move on to tomorrow. So
at 1 o'clock, it will be Bills versus Broncos to finish the AFC.
The Bills versus the Broncos. All right. So the Bills versus the Broncos. For me, it's sort of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Josh Allen, and
Bo Nix is a rookie.
Yeah, he doesn't have any playoff experience. I mean, even though he can get hot and he's hard to bring down at times, I don't think you can discount the Bills. I mean, the Ravens rolled the Bills, and that was with one of our weaker defenses.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. Bo Nix has no playoff experience. Josh Allen at least has some playoff experience. He's in the MVP conversation. Really makes me angry that he's like considered the leading vote getter in the MVP conversation when Lamar has much better stats. And Lamar beat him straight up. I mean, crushed him straight up. Who are you going with on the Bills?
Bills, I would say like Bills 24-10.
Yeah. I think this game, the Bills, Broncos, I think the Bills covered you. What's the spread on the Bills game?
I don't know. Probably like 10, 11 points.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the spread on the Bills game. I know the Ravens. I think the last time I looked at the Ravens, they were like 10. I don't think the Ravens covered the 10 against the Steelers, to be totally honest. Let's see. Let's go into the sports app here and see what. I think we can go into. We'll go CBS Sports. See what the spreads are on these games. I mean, we're not betting on these games. So okay, so the last line on Steelers Ravens is 9. I still don't think the Ravens cover that. So I would take the Steelers if I were betting it. Let's see. For Denver, we got to go to the games for tomorrow. Denver and Buffalo, 8.5. Buffalo's given 8.5. You know what? I think Buffalo covers that. I think Buffalo will cover the 8.5. I'm taking Buffalo plus the 8.5. Or I'm taking Buffalo given the 8.5. And you're going with Buffalo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So then the next game, this is an intriguing one, especially since we got some guys coming off injuries.
Are you talking about Eagles Packers?
Eagles Packers, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
because
I think AJ Brown might be hurt. He's like doubtful to play.
well,
Jalen Hurts
I
hasn't
was
played
the
in like 2
concussion. Well,
weeks.
that's what I'm talking about. Jalen's coming off the concussion protocol. So Philly is favored by 5 over Green Bay. Green Bay came in at the 7 seed, 11-6. Philly was 14-3. Philly's just a fantastic team all around. I hate to say it. I mean, I don't hate to say it because I'm a Phillies fan. The NFC side, I'm a Phillies fan. When there was no Ravens, I was a Phillies guy. I think Philly wins that game, and I would say I think the Philadelphia Eagles are probably my choice to go to the Super Bowl.
I think it's either Eagles, Lions, or something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
It could be. It could be.
I feel like the Packers don't deserve to be the 7th seed. They played really good this year.
Yeah.
They beat really good teams.
No, the Packers are good, and I mean they made a run last year, and Jordan Love is a great quarterback. But I
Josh
don't.
Jacobs, he's a really good running back.
Yeah, they're a great team. I think that's going to be a good game. I could, you know what? It's like if I saw an upset happening, I could see an upset in that game if Philly comes out and it's just flat and can't get anything going on the ground, and their defense, is flat. I could see that being an upset, but I think I'm taking Philadelphia in that game.
I'm saying 31-24 Philly.
I think it's going to be a little bit low score. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a low scoring game than that. I'm going like 24-20. I think it's going to be like low score. 24-21 Philadelphia on that one. Oh, let's see. Noni she said Chargers and Texans would be a close game. Yeah. It depends. I really like the Chargers over the Texans. What was the spread on the Chargers? That game's actually about to start. Yeah. Let's see. The Chargers and Texans, 2.5. Yep. I think I would take. Yeah, I'm still taking the Chargers. Yep. I'm still taking the Chargers on that one. Okay.
So next one is Buccaneers Commanders. That's a close one.
That is a close one. See that?
You said Commanders.
I did. So going into this, PG, we're kind of talking about our picks, and yeah, I think if you're looking at an upset, I don't know. I'm just feeling Washington, man.
So you think the rookie's gonna beat?
I do. You know what? I think he's very talented. I think he's got a lot of talent, and he can be explosive. It's a 3-point spread. Tampa Bay's dropping 3 to Washington. I don't know, man. Washington, they could lay an egg. Something just tells me that's going to be the upset game. I'm going Washington.
I would say Buccaneers because they have a really underrated team. I feel like.
And Baker Mayfield does sort of show up in the playoffs. I will say that. I mean, he's got a track record in the playoffs, and you never know what he might do.
I feel like they're very super underrated team.
Yep.
Just like the Packers, I feel like kind of just like the Packers because they have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I think tight end was Cade On or something like that. I feel like they have a decent defense.
I think this will be a good game. Let's see. Could be a close Ravens game, but praying the Ravens pull ahead and never take their foot off the pedal. I hope so too. I would love it if we were winning by so much in the fourth quarter that we could pull all of our starters and not blink an eye. But I am not that confident because it's a conference divisional game. I did not want a divisional game in round 1 for the Ravens because it will be so heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking last year when the Chiefs came into our town, had their way with us, and ended our season at M&T Bank Stadium. I do not want the Ravens season to end at M&T Bank Stadium, much less to the Pittsburgh Squealers. That is my thought on that, and I am sticking to it. Okay, so you're officially taking the Buccaneers. I'm taking the Commanders. That's the first one we're differing on.
Now it's the Rams and the Vikings on January 13th at 8:00.
That's the Monday night game. All right, Rams, Vikings on Monday night. That is a tough pick. So That game, it's another 2.5-point game. The Rams are
Decent.
yeah.
I don't really know what to say about them. They're just kind of decent.
I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I like Minnesota. I think, again, Minnesota is a better team. They were 14-3 versus the Rams 10-7. I like Minnesota in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're the technically quote unquote like lower seed.
Well,
I like
they're
Minnesota.
in it was between the Lions and the Vikings to be the number 1 seed on week 18, but the Lions won, so yeah, now they're the 5th seed.
Oh my gosh. So are we both in agreement here? Like, what are you going with?
I would say Vikings. I would say, like, I don't know.
If I'm going that, if I'm taking a score on that one, I actually think it's going to be a little bit more of a blowout on that one. I'm going Vikings like 33-21 Vikings.
26-14.
26-14 Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Spread's only 2.5, so we're taking Minnesota despite the spread. So, yeah. Given the Rams 2.5, I'm totally fine with that. I think that game's going to be a little bit higher. I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. So that is our wild card weekend. Should be a lot of good games. I mean, starts here and a couple minutes.
And just to consider, the lowest seed that can go against the Chiefs is the Texans. So anybody lower than that will play the Texans if they win.
Yeah, so that's right. If the Chargers, if the Chargers and Broncos win, what do you got here? Oh, PJ came up with a little paper here. What do you got?
Ravens wins versus Bills loss. We're home for divisional.
Well, yeah, if the Bills to lose, the Bills to get upset. I don't see that happening. So does that mean we would go to the Bills if the Bills win? Well, I guess it depends on how the other games play. It really depends on how the other games play out.
No, if we win and the Bills lose, then we would be playing whoever wins Texans Chargers.
Yeah, I'm saying if the Bills win.
Yeah, then we would be playing the Bills at Bills.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but not necessarily, because what if in the other games, I guess if the Ravens lost, that would be the number 6 seed Steelers. So that means they would still be alive and likely play Kansas City. Mm-hmm. Then the Bills, so if the Ravens win, that would eliminate the 6 seed. The 3 seed would still be alive. But the 4 and the 5, the Bills could still play like the Vikings.
What?
If the Oh, I'm sorry, wrong division. I'm sorry. If the Chargers win over the Texans, then the Bills would get the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we don't necessarily play the Bills if the Bills win.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because the Bills would play the number 5 team.
The number 5 seed would go against the Chiefs because they're the lowest seed. And then we would play.
Oh, that's if we won. That's right, because the 6 seed.
If the Steelers win.
But no, if the Texans win, then.
The Texans win, the Texans are playing the Chiefs. Then we're still playing the Bills.
But the Bills are the number 2 seed, so they get the lowest seed remaining.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're the highest seed. So 4 seed versus 1 seed, 2 seed versus 3 seed.
Oh, darn, you're right. Oh, well, I guess we'll have a date in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. Only if somehow the Broncos get an upset.
Well, I would much prefer to play the Broncos because the Bills have already played us, so they're familiar with us.
And if somehow the Baltimore team lose and the Bills lose, then the Texans are home.
We know who they're rooting for then. Crazy. All right, well, it's going to be an interesting wild card weekend. It's going to be a lot of great football. Hope you all enjoy it. I know I will. Yeah, keep me in your prayers for tonight, y'all, because it is going to be cold. I just don't want to get hypothermia. I wish you were coming with me, dude. It sucked. You know what really sucks, though? I'm going to tell you this. Going in everyone in Baltimore is selling their tickets. It's a shame right now because the weather is so cold. All these season ticket holders are selling their tickets for tonight. They'd rather sit home and watch the game. And what's happening is all these Steeler fans who are used to the cold weather and are like, yeah, let's get down there. They're making it Pittsburgh South. They are buying up all these tickets, and it's going to be so many Steelers fans tonight. It's going to be sickening. So not looking forward to all the Steelers fans tonight. Not looking forward to the cold, but true Ravens fans, we suck it up, man. We're going to go down there.
I saw a lot of drunk Steelers fans
already.
Last game.
Yeah, that's true. There was okay. Should we tell them the story?
No.
Should we tell? Come on, we got to tell them the light rail story. Remember, we were on the light rail with the drunk Steelers fan who was right next to us.
Well, yeah.
Now you know the story.
Yeah, you tell them.
All right. So, really quick before we head out, we were taking the light rail down, which is a way you can get down to M&T Bank Stadium. It kind of drops you off right by the stadium, and it's mobbed on the light rail. I'll tell you what, because instead of paying like $100 to park, you're dropping like $4 to go down there. Well, we were on the light rail, it was all crammed in, and there was this drunk Steeler. He was drunk out of his mind. He was trying to start fights with people. He was like picking fights with people in the seats and everything. We were probably 3 or 4 stops from where we get off. And all this drunk Pittsburgh guy announces out of nowhere, he's like, oh, God, I'm peeing myself. Oh, I'm peeing. Oh. The first thought was like, this guy's drunk. He's not really peeing himself. But then you look down and you see a stream of urine coming out of his pants leg all over the ground. It was disgusting. This guy, and he's sitting there just announcing. He was so drunk. He was announcing it to everyone. He was like, oh, I'm pissing my pants. Oh. It was bad. So, yeah, that was funny. But, all right. Well, maybe we'll do this again next week for the divisional round. And we are excited to see what happens. Noni, watch all those games and you'll be crying for a week. I think I won't be crying, but I will be upset and heartbroken. So, All right. Well, thank you so much for watching and let us know what you think. What are your picks? Let us know in the comments and we will talk to you next week. We'll do this again next week. It's always fun. We like doing these picks. Aloha, everybody.
Bye.